My GF said, "I'm setting boundaries around your negative work energy." When she wanted me to leak company secrets, I set my own boundaries. She accused me of destroying her family. She had no idea what my manager had just discovered. I'm Jason, 31, and I need to get this off my chest, because the last 48 hours have been absolutely insane. Tuesday afternoon, 3 p.m. I'm sitting in my manager's office staring at security logs showing someone tried to hack our company's main code repository from my home IP address. Sunday night, 11:17 p.m. exactly. "Jason, we need to talk about this," Dave says, pointing at the screen. "Someone attempted unauthorized access using what looks like partial admin credentials." My stomach drops. Sunday night, I was watching Netflix. Aria was on her laptop researching app development for her brother Marcus's failing startup. "I think my girlfriend might have..." I start, then stop. Because saying your girlfriend is a corporate spy sounds insane. But let me back up. This whole mess started 6 months ago with Aria's favorite phrase, "I'm setting boundaries around your negative work energy." Been with Aria for 2 years. Met her at our tech startup. I'm senior software engineer. She's HR coordinator. And honestly, those first 8 months were amazing. She seemed to really get me in ways previous girlfriends hadn't. I'm not great with emotions. Grew up in a house where dad worked 70-hour weeks and mom handled everything else. We didn't do feelings, just got stuff done. So when Aria would actually want to talk about our relationship, analyze how we communicated, discuss our emotional needs, it felt mature. Adult. Like finally being in a real relationship. She was the first girlfriend who didn't just accept my workaholic tendencies. She'd say things like, "I love how passionate you are about your work, but I also want to make sure you're taking care of yourself." Not demanding I change, just caring about my well-being. It felt incredible. The early boundary conversations made sense too. She'd explain how her ex was emotionally unavailable, how she'd learned in therapy to recognize toxic patterns. When she'd gently point out that I was stressed and bringing that energy home, it felt like helpful feedback from someone who cared. "I'm not trying to control you," she'd say. "I just want us both to be our best selves in this relationship." She had this way of making everything sound like relationship wisdom. When I'd work late and she'd get upset, she'd explain it using therapy language. "When you choose work over our planned time together, it triggers my abandonment issues from my last relationship. I'm not asking you to quit your job, just to honor the commitments we make to each other." Made perfect sense. I'd apologize, try harder to be present. She'd be so appreciative, cook my favorite dinner, plan thoughtful date nights, talk about our future together. The positive reinforcement was addictive. The manipulation was gradual. So gradual, I didn't notice when helpful suggestions became demands, when boundaries became control tactics. Around month 6, I started seeing the double standard, but Aria always had explanations that sounded reasonable. When she'd text me frantically during meetings, needing immediate responses, and I'd point out the inconsistency with her work boundaries lecture, she'd say, "Anxiety doesn't follow convenient schedules, Jason. I thought you understood my mental health needs." How do you argue with that? I'd feel like an asshole for even bringing it up. She was brilliant at making me doubt myself. When I'd work late on genuine emergencies, she'd say things like, "I support your career, but I'm concerned about your work addiction. Most healthy people can leave the office at reasonable hours." The phrase, "most healthy people," was her favorite. Most healthy people don't prioritize work over relationships. Most healthy people can discuss emotions without getting defensive. Most healthy people understand the importance of boundaries. made me constantly wonder if I was the unhealthy one. Maybe I did have work addiction issues. Maybe I was emotionally unavailable. Maybe I was the problem in our relationship. Her friends reinforced it too. When we'd go out with her crowd, they'd make comments like, "Aria's so patient with your work schedule," or, "You're lucky she understands the tech industry stress," always positioning her as the understanding girlfriend, putting up with my difficult behavior. Meanwhile, she'd post on social media about healthy relationships, emotional intelligence, supporting your partner's growth. Got hundreds of likes and comments about what a wise, mature girlfriend she was. Started feeling like if I lost her, I'd never find someone so understanding and supportive again. The therapy speak escalated slowly. First, it was gentle observations. "I noticed you seem to shut down when we discuss emotions." Then it became diagnoses. "You're exhibiting classic avoidant attachment patterns." Eventually, accusations. "Your inability to prioritize relationships is toxic masculinity." But she'd always follow criticism with reassurance. "I'm not attacking you, babe. I'm just trying to help you grow." This is what healthy couples do. They help each other become better people. The crazy part? I genuinely thought she was helping me become more emotionally intelligent. I started reading relationship books, tried to be more present during our conversations, worked on being less work-obsessed. When friends would mention that she seemed controlling, I'd defend her. "She's not controlling. She's just emotionally aware. She's teaching me to be a better partner." Looking back, that's probably why I stayed so long. She convinced me that leaving would mean giving up on personal growth, choosing to remain emotionally stunted rather than doing the hard work of becoming a better man. Plus, when things were good between us, they were really good. She'd plan surprise weekend trips, write thoughtful cards about how proud she was of my career growth, talk about wanting to build a life together. Made me feel like if I could just get better at this relationship stuff, we'd be perfect together. The pattern started small about 6 months in. I'd work late fixing critical bugs. She'd text, "Your work stress is affecting my mental health. I need you to choose us over corporate demands." Made sense at first. Work-life balance, right? So I'd leave earlier, try to be more present, but somehow I was always the one compromising, always the one exhibiting toxic workaholic patterns. Meanwhile, when she had anxiety attacks, I was expected to drop everything. Cancel plans, skip gym, order her comfort food, and listen for hours. If I seemed tired, "You're not supporting my mental health journey." But when I was stressed, "You need healthier coping mechanisms instead of bringing negative energy into our relationship space." The real red flag should have been 3 months ago when her brother Marcus launched his social media fitness app. Aria started casually mentioning how stressed he was, how he could really use technical guidance. I explained I couldn't help a potential competitor. We do social fitness tracking too. Different angle but overlapping market. Plus, non-compete clauses. "Family loyalty should matter more than corporate loyalty," she said. "You're prioritizing capitalism over relationships." When I didn't budge, the therapy speak intensified. "You're exhibiting professional insecurity and toxic individualism." Looking back now, this is when I should have seen the real Aria. But I was so trained to doubt my instincts, to view her criticism as helpful growth opportunities, that I actually wondered if she was right. Maybe I was being unnecessarily rigid about work boundaries. Last month, Marcus started joining our coffee dates, accidentally running into us, steering conversations toward database optimization, user retention strategies, proprietary stuff. Aria would jump in. Jason rebuilt our entire back-end architecture. He could revolutionize your app. I'd change subjects. Later, she'd guilt trip. You were so cold to Marcus. He's building something meaningful and you're gatekeeping information. The word gatekeeping was new to her vocabulary, along with toxic individualism and professional insecurity. All phrases that made me sound like the villain for having work boundaries. 2 weeks ago, the pressure exploded. Marcus got denied funding, might shut down the app. AITA came home sobbing. He just needs technical guidance, she cried. Nothing major, just code review and suggestions. You could save his dreams. When I said no. This is toxic masculinity. You're so threatened by other men's success you won't help family. That's when I started getting suspicious about her therapy terminology. Googled male fragmentation and capitalistic relationship toxicity. Her frequent phrases, no legitimate therapeutic sources. Started wondering how much was real therapy versus internet psychology. But I didn't realize how far she'd gone until Sunday night. I was working late again. Legitimate security vulnerability needing immediate patch. Texted Aria explaining the crisis. Said I'd be home by midnight. Her response. Hard boundary. If you're not home by 9 p.m., I'm reconsidering our compatibility. You're choosing work addiction over us. An ultimatum. Overprotecting user data from hackers. Got home at 9:05 p.m. She was waiting, arms crossed. You chose work. I chose to protect users from data breaches. Same thing. You're using noble language to justify workaholism. Something clicked. I started a voice memo. Can you repeat that? She looked confused but repeated. You're using noble language to justify workaholism. Your work attachment matters more than my mental health boundaries. Saved the recording. Next day, Friday, she texted during lunch. Marcus desperately needs to discuss technical stuff. His app is crashing under user load. Coffee after work? I should have said no. But I went, thinking maybe I could offer general advice without crossing lines. Marcus had his laptop out, looking panicked. Aria says you're amazing with database optimization. Could you look at our user table structure? I glanced at his screen and froze. The database schema looked identical to ours. Not similar, nearly exact. Where did you get this structure? Found examples online, Marcus said quickly. Stack Overflow, GitHub. But I knew our proprietary design. He'd clearly seen it somehow. I looked at Aria. She was suddenly fascinated by her latte. I need to leave, I said. That night. Did you show Marcus our database structure? I don't know anything about databases, she snapped. You're being paranoid and possessive of information that doesn't even belong to you personally. Sunday morning, Marcus texted. Thanks for the guidance yesterday. Could you look at our authentication flow too? I hadn't given any guidance. Showed Aria the text. What guidance? She barely glanced at it. I might have mentioned general stuff you've told me. Nothing confidential. That afternoon, while she showered, I did something I'm not proud of. Went through her laptop, found a folder. Marcus App Help. Screenshots of my work Slack. Photos of architecture diagrams I'd sketched at home. Recordings of calls where I'd discussed work challenges. She'd been systematically documenting my work for months. When she came out, I had everything spread on the coffee table. Explain this. She saw the evidence and cycled through emotions. Shock, anger, calculation. You violated my privacy. Very controlling behavior. You've been recording my work conversations. I was trying to understand your world better, to be supportive. By sharing proprietary information, general concepts, nothing harmful. I showed her a screenshot, Slack conversation about specific security vulnerabilities. This is federal crime territory if shared with competitors. She sat down hard. Marcus said he just needed best practices. You didn't think, or didn't care. My family is important to me. More important than my career? Legal safety? Don't be dramatic. I played back the voice recording. You're using noble language to justify workaholism. Then said calmly, I'm setting boundaries around corporate espionage. Your family drama affects my professional ethics. She stared. That's not the same. Isn't it? You've spent 2 years telling me my work stress affects your mental health, that I need better boundaries. I'm choosing boundaries. Your brother's app problems aren't my problem. She started crying. Real tears this time. I was just helping him. You don't understand the pressure. I understand pressure. Remember threatening our relationship when I stayed late for that security patch? That was about balance. This is about ethics. I won't help steal proprietary code. You're destroying his dreams over corporate loyalty. He's destroying his integrity by stealing. Not my choice. Now back to Tuesday in my manager's office. Someone tried accessing our repository Sunday night from your IP, Dave says. What do you know about this? I tell him everything. Show screenshots, recordings, Marcus's texts. His expression gets darker by the minute. Jason, this is corporate espionage. We need legal involved. The investigation moved fast. Turns out Marcus had attempted multiple repository access using credentials AITA somehow obtained. Probably photographed when I worked from home. Thursday morning, AITA got called to corporate HR with lawyers. She came home pale, shaken. They fired me. I'm sorry. Security risk, they said. Violated employee confidentiality agreements. Did you? She looked at me with pure hatred. You destroyed my career over petty revenge. You destroyed it by committing corporate espionage. I was helping family. You were stealing trade secrets. She packed a bag. I can't believe you chose my company over us. I chose law over crime. Friday morning, Dave called me back in. Legal reviewed everything. You acted perfectly. Your reporting potentially saved us from major IP theft. What about Marcus? Felony charges, attempted unauthorized access to corporate systems. AITA? Blacklisted from tech HR. This follows you forever. He paused. Good news, though. Senior engineering lead position opened up. We want to offer it to you. Should have felt happy. Just felt tired. That weekend, reality hit. 2 years gone. AITA texting alternately, apologizing and blaming. Marcus lawyering up. My friend Jake came over with beer. Dude, you dodged a bullet. Did I? Or did I destroy everything over work? She was literally stealing from your company, using you to commit felonies. That's when it clicked. All the therapy speak, boundary language, mental health concerns, pure manipulation, training me to doubt instincts, prioritize her needs over judgment. Monday, unknown number texts. Hope you're happy. AITA's having panic attacks. Can't get jobs because of your vindictive reporting. Over code that doesn't even belong to you personally. Marcus. Showed my new team. Sarah laughed grimly. That's gaslighting. He's facing federal charges and angry at you for reporting theft. AITA keeps saying I chose work over family. You chose law over crime, Tom said. Easy choice. The promotion's been great. More responsibility, real respect. Team that values actual boundaries, not weaponized therapy speak. Got one final text from AITA yesterday. Hope you're satisfied. Marcus shut down his app, I'm moving back with parents. You destroyed 2 lives over corporate greed. I replied, I'm setting boundaries around contact from people who used me to commit felonies. Your family drama affects my professional ethics. Blocked her after that. Looking back, I see all the red flags. How she used mental health language to shut down concerns. Her boundaries always limited me, never her. Double standard where her anxiety required accommodation, but my stress was toxic masculinity. Most telling, she never acknowledged stealing was wrong. Even now frames it as family versus corporate loyalty. Never legal versus illegal, ethical versus criminal. Jake asked if I regret how it ended. Only regret is not seeing through manipulation sooner. Could have saved 2 years of self-doubt. Funniest part? Her dating profile says she wants someone who understands family importance and doesn't prioritize capitalism over human connection. The irony would be amusing if it wasn't so perfectly typical. I'm doing well. Team respects real boundaries. Stress levels down. Sleep fine knowing I chose ethics when family loyalty meant criminal activity. Turns out when you stand by professional integrity and refuse therapy speak manipulation, life simplifies dramatically. My work problems aren't anyone's mental health crisis. Other people's family drama definitely isn't my ethical problem. She accused me of destroying her family. She had no idea what my manager had discovered. Funny how that works.